I've got the 6 most public NFL sides for this Sunday, Week 16. Going to break down all 6 games for you and let you know if we should play them or fade them. NFL Fade the Public, Week 16 edition here right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And we do have 6 public plays this week. Actually, 2 official public plays, 4 additional leans. Let's get right to it. The most public side here in Week 16 is the Detroit Lions minus 6.5. That goes early at 1 o'clock Eastern. And this line has actually come down from the look-ahead line a week ago. It was minus 7. Now it's 6.5, and Detroit is decimated with injuries. However, it should be a focus spot for the Lions as they're coming off a loss, of course, last week in a high-profile game against Buffalo. The week before that, a big Thursday night win against the Packers. So, yes, they're coming off a loss, but it's also a little bit of a step down in class because keep in mind they just beat the Bears 3 games ago, and then they had those huge, big games against Green Bay and Buffalo. They also have San Francisco on deck next week as well, and that's the Monday night game, I believe. So, possible flat spot here, even though they're off a loss. And the big news, though, is the Detroit defense is decimated right now with injuries. They gave up over 550 total offensive yards to the Bills last week. Nothing misleading about that, 48 points allowed. And the Bears did move the ball on them in the second half. Now, that Thanksgiving Day game was a cover by Chicago as a 9.5 point dog. They lost by only 3, but keep in mind that's a little misleading because Detroit was up pretty big in that game. In fact, after 3 quarters, the Lions had a 23-7 lead, and then they gave up 13 points in the final quarter to make the final score respectable. But Caleb Williams is playing better. In fact, over his last 5 starts, he's had a QB rating of 87 or higher in 4 of those 5 outings, and 95 or higher in 4 of the 5, including a 98 QB rating, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions against the Lions 3 games ago. Detroit's in a focus spot, probably off a loss. However, I'm not in a hurry to play the most public side of the week. I think the Bears are actually a live dog. If it becomes 7 or more, maybe take a look at Chicago. At the current line of 6.5, not quite as much value, obviously. There's about a 4 to 5% chance that the Lions win the game by exactly 7 points. I do think the over could be worth a look here, over 48. As I mentioned, Caleb Williams playing better the last month or so, and also the Lions' defense is decimated with injuries. Over 48 might be the best option in this game on Sunday afternoon. All right, the other most public play this week also goes right after that on the rotation, but it's a 4:25 Eastern game, and that's the Buffalo Bills minus 14. Public obviously loves Buffalo. They're an excellent team this season, and also the public wants nothing to do with the New England Patriots, and that's what makes this a very public side. Now, what's interesting is normally when you get in the 2-touchdown spread range, double-digit spreads, the public kind of stays away from these games. Those of you who have watched this series for years now, I very rarely have double-digit favorites here that make the public list, but this is the exception. Buffalo's the second most public side this week, minus the 14, and this does not look like a great spot for the Bills. Talked about a potential flat spot for Detroit, except for the fact they're coming off a loss. Well, Buffalo's coming off the other side of that big game against Detroit, and they're coming off the win. Keep in mind that was a 90-point game, 48-42. The week before, a narrow 44-42 loss against the Rams on the road. Back-to-back high-scoring road games. And then the 2 games before that, the Sunday night snow game against the 49ers that clinched the division. The week before that, the huge home win against Kansas City. 4 big games in a row, and now they're laying 2 touchdowns against an inferior opponent. Not a fan of backing ugly underdogs in the NFL. However, in December, they do usually do a bit better. And also, Drake May is actually playing solid football as a young quarterback for New England. Overall, his QB rating has been 97 or higher in 3 of his last 4 games. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions is a concern. But his QB rating has been pretty good overall. If he can somewhat keep the turnovers under control, I think New England can hang within this 2-touchdown spread. So this is a spot where I would look to fade the public. Take a look at the Patriots as long as you're getting plus 14 or more. That's a late game at the time change, and now goes at 4:25 Eastern on Sunday afternoon. Now those are the 2 most public plays, the 2 official public plays here for Week 16 on Sunday. Lions minus 6.5 and the Bills minus 14. Of those 2, I would look to fade the public in both games with a stronger fade on New England at plus 14. All right, there's 4 additional leans for you on the public card here. We're going to get to those 4 leans in a moment. Just a quick reminder, my client best bets have been incredible the last 2 Sundays. A perfect 9-0 sweep. You heard me right, 9-0 sweep on best bets the last 2 Sundays for my clients at WagerTalk.com. And you can get this Sunday for free. In fact, you can get the rest of December for free. Here's how it works. Buy January, get the rest of December all sports for free. It's quite simple. Special offer that we have through this weekend right now on my page, stevemerril.wagertalk.com. Buy January all sports, you get the rest of December this next week and a half for free, including this Sunday's best bets, which have gone 9-0 the past 2 weeks. Check it out right now on my page, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. No promo code needed. Also, check out that free play. I post a bonus free play every day, including this Sunday on my page. All right, let's get to those 4 additional leans for you on the Sunday NFL card. 4 additional public leans. We'll go down in schedule order, starting with the first game at 1 o'clock Eastern, Cincinnati Bengals -9. Not a surprise that the public is on the Bengals. They've been playing excellent football, especially offensively. But more so, the public is fading Cleveland, who has lost 5 of their last 6, both straight up and against the spread, making another quarterback change. Thompson, Robinson, Dorian, whatever his name is, he's at quarterback this week. Some uncertainty there, the UCLA guy. Well, we'll see how he plays. Maybe that's the catalyst. I prefer to actually just take the Browns out of the equation. Let's just look at the Bengals team total over 27.5. Cincinnati's offense is in excellent current form. Cleveland is not a good team. I don't want to say they've tossed the talent this season. They just don't have any talent. They had 6 turnovers last week against the Bengals. So any quarterback's going to be an upgrade this week. But once again, a lot of uncertainty on how they'll play offensively. But one thing I do think is that the Bengals continue to move the ball over 27.5. I think makes sense with the team total here. This is a Cincinnati team that has scored 27 or more now in 6 straight games. Now, they did have 27 exact in a couple of them, but they've gone 27 or more in 6 straight games. We just need to get up and over 27.5 to cash this team total. And something else I'll point out here is that the Bengals have beaten up on bad teams. Since losing that opener against New England back in Week 1, they've gone a perfect 6-0 straight up and against the spread against bad teams this year. They've lost every other game straight up against decent playoff caliber teams. So Bengals have beaten up on bad teams, including a 7-point win at Cleveland when they covered as a 5.5-point dog back on October 20th. Once again, I'm in no hurry to back the Browns here. The line is inflated. I think Bengals team total over 27.5 points is probably the safest way to play this game on Sunday afternoon. All right, another very public side on the daytime card, also at 1 o'clock Eastern, is the LA Rams -3. They are traveling to play the New York Jets. Everyone thought the Jets had tossed the towel in the season. Don't look now, but the Jets have actually quietly covered back-to-back games. Of course, that Miami cover was borderline. They were a 6.5-point dog, lost by 6 in overtime, would have covered otherwise. But then they won outright against Jacksonville as a 3.5-point road favorite last week. But they've put up 58 points the last 2 games. In fact, they've had 21 points or more now in 6 of their last 7 games. So the offense is playing a little bit better than people realize. They've thrown for almost 600 total yards the last 2 games. No interceptions, no fumbles. They're playing cleaner football. With that said, though, I'm in no hurry to back the Jets. And the Rams have been a play-on team for me now for several months. Ever since that slow start in which they went 1-4 straight up, 1-5 against the spread to start the season. Rams have quietly gone 6-2 against the spread their last 8. I would actually be with the public lean on this one on the Rams. Also, though, take a look at the over. As I mentioned, Jets are playing much better offensively the last couple weeks, last month or so. And the Rams, of course, were coming off that 44-42 win, and then the offenses went flat last Thursday night, and there wasn't a single touchdown scored. By the way, Circa had 225-1 odds a couple Thursday nights ago. There'd be no touchdown in that Rams-49ers game. We talked about that earlier this week in some other videos. I said, comment below if you had that bet, and I don't believe you if you did. But that's how much of an outlier that performance was on the short week. I look for the Rams offense to play a lot better this week. I think the over makes some sense in this Jets game as well, over 46.5. But I would not disagree with the public leaning towards the Rams in this one. All right, your final public lean here, we're going to get to this one, is on the late card. And this one goes, actually, I've got 2 more for you. This is the Sunday night game. I was going to give you the Sunday night game. Tampa-Dallas is a public side. But first, let's get to one of the other daytime games, and that is Minnesota. Minnesota -3 is another public side at Seattle at 4 o'clock Eastern. And one thing I always say about fading the public is that we're not in a hurry normally to back really ugly underdogs. But whenever I can get a decent team, and that's one of the reasons I love, by the way, fading public dogs. Like last week we had the Steelers, a huge public dog against the Eagles. I recommended right here on the video to back the Eagles and fade the Steelers. We don't have any public dogs this week, but the one fade the public situation in which we have a decent team would be Seattle. And I do think we're getting some adjusted line value. The look-ahead line this summer is Seattle -2, 2-3. Now they're a 3-point dog. Part of the reason is because Geno Smith was questionable earlier this week, but he did participate fully in practice at the end of the week. He's not even listed on the injury report, so Geno Smith is a go. Whether he's 100% healthy or not with the leg injury he suffered last Sunday night is a question mark, but I do think it's a decent bounce-back spot for Seattle after losing that Sunday night game, and we get some adjusted line value because of it. Keep in mind, I liked the Packers last week. I did a solo video here on WagerTalk TV recommending them. That was also a strong client best bet, part of that 9-0 sweep the last 2 Sundays on best bets. We did have Green Bay last Sunday night as a client play. Packers, a very underrated team, whereas I thought the Seahawks had become an overrated team after 4 straight outright underdog wins in a row. Not a great spot on Sunday Night Football. Now they're taking on a good Minnesota squad, but Minnesota might be the team in the flat spot now. Minnesota enters here off of 7 straight wins, and they have a big look-ahead game against both Green Bay and Detroit to finish out the season. This actually looks like a little bit of a flat spot for Minnesota on the road after 7 wins, laying a field goal now. I think Seattle is a live home dog. The play against was last week. I think Seattle's now in a play-on situation. As long as Smith is healthy, which it looks like he is, I would fade the public here with the Seahawks, and they're the one quality team you're getting this week when fading the public, which is something I always look for when using this as a filter. All right, now let's get to that Sunday night game. Of course, I did a standalone solo video for this Buccaneers-Cowboys game here on WagerTalk TV. Make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell as well so you know when these solo free play videos go live, when this video goes up every weekend as well. As I mentioned in the solo video, Tampa Bay Bucks are one of the more public sides this week, and they're an additional lean here in this video. This is your Sunday night NBC game at 8:20 Eastern. Tampa Bay currently -4. In fact, the look-ahead line this summer was Dallas -4.5. Now they're +4. Obviously a disappointing season for the Cowboys, but something I mentioned in my video for this game is that Cooper Rush is actually playing pretty good football. In fact, over his last 4 starts, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His quarterback rating has been above average over the last month. He hasn't been the problem with this team, and there really hasn't been much of a downgrade with him at quarterback. Their overall offensive numbers this season aren't great. Their defensive numbers are the concern, but I think they can move the ball in this game. And obviously, Tampa's an explosive offense. In fact, the bye came at the perfect time for the Buccaneers. After 4 straight losses into middle November, they got the bye week. They've come out and they've gone a perfect 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread the last 4. However, it does look like it could be a little bit of a setback spot here. Even though it's Sunday night national TV, they're coming off that high-scoring win on the road against the Chargers, 40-17. This is now their 4th road game in 5 weeks. Since coming back from the bye, this will now be the 4th time in 5 weeks that they've played on the road. I think this is a live dog spot for Dallas here. And even though the Cowboys are not a good team, as I mentioned, Cooper Rush is playing decent. Dallas is quietly 3-1 straight up and against the spread their last 4 games. So it's a team that's actually playing their best football this season. Not that that's saying much. But once again, kind of like Seattle is a live home dog, I think Dallas is a live home dog as well, +4. I would fade the public in this one and take a look at the Cowboys on Sunday night. Hey, those are the 6 most public sides this week. Once again, the 2 official public sides are Detroit and Buffalo, and then 4 additional public leans on Cincinnati, the LA Rams, Minnesota Vikings, and then Tampa Bay on Sunday night. The public is leaning that way in those 6 games. I gave you my thoughts where I thought we should play them or fade them. Also some totals information. What are your thoughts on these games? Which ones do you agree with, disagree? Where are you playing the public? Where are you fading the public? Comment below. I read the comments and I reply back. Include some sides and totals in other games you like this Sunday, and also some player props. Some of you do really well with player props. Drop those below. Include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're liking the free play videos, this is obviously a deep dive I do each week for the most public sides, but I also do the Thursday, Sunday, Monday night, the Saturday games. I try to get you all the primetime games, college football playoff games. I did them this week. I'm going to do them next week as well. Tons of bowl games. Also even some daily basketball videos now that we're here with College and Pro Hoops. If you're liking the free play videos, do me a couple quick favors. Comment below, but also click the thumbs up like button. It takes 1 second. Boom, you did it. The more thumbs up likes, the more comments, the more free play videos I'll do. It's that simple. That's the formula. I love the support. Let's win together here on WagerTalk TV. And make sure you subscribe to WagerTalk TV. Almost 190,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. And when you click subscribe, consider clicking that bell as well. You'll get an instant alert when this video goes up each and every week here on the channel, along with those daily free play videos. Subscribe and click the bell for instant alerts. And don't forget, if you want my official best bets, the same games that have gone a perfect 9-0 the last 2 Sundays for my clients, don't miss this Sunday. It's another strong card. I love this Sunday once again. And you get those best bets right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Whether it's a 1 day, a 1 month, or a 1 year, every client gets the exact same plays I'm personally using each day. Same games I've won with consistently for the past 29 years as a full-time professional handicapper. If I like a play, if I'm using it, my clients get it as well. They are emailed out directly to everybody at the same time. You can also log in on the website and get them at any point with analysis. And don't forget, I'm very selective. Maybe 1 to 2 best bets per day on average. Now, obviously, the weekends and like a Sunday NFL card, we have more. We've had 9 the last 2 Sundays. That's actually 8-0 NFL, 1 NBA, so a 9-0 sweep the past 2 Sundays. But the point is, selectivity pays off. Already this year, I'm up over 100 units in all sports. We've already doubled our bankroll this year. Just going back to the start of last year's football season, up over 200 units in just over 15 months. And now's a great time to get on board. By January, you get the rest of December for free. You can get this Sunday and the rest of this month for free right now when you get on board for January. Or if you're serious about taking a long-term, consistent investment approach, now is the time to make the investment with that 1-year all-access and get an instant $811 discount. No promo code needed. It's on my page right now. That gets it down to exactly $99 a month, $3 a day, just over $1 a play for every college and pro football, college and pro basketball, and Major League Baseball best bet for the next 365 days and nights. Don't wait until January 1st to make that New Year's resolution. Get on board now. Lock in a subscription. Get the rest of December. You got all these bowl games, another round of the college football playoffs, tons of NFL, daily college and pro basketball. Whether you do the January, by January, get the rest of December free, or the 1-year all-access for about $1 a play. There's no promo code needed. They're both listed on my page right now. Go to Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Click on Steve Merril, and you will see my daily best bets, all the strong NFL plays for Sunday, an advanced bowl play for next week, the daily basketball. Right below the daily best bets, you will see both of those special offers, which expire after this weekend. The by January, get the rest of December free, or the 1-year all-access for about $1 a play. No promo codes needed for either. You click on the one that works best for you. You get the instant discount, and you're ready to win. You will get today's best bets. And oh, by the way, right below the special offers is a daily free play. It's my last cut. Just missed the card, just a bit outside. I post those free opinions every day in either basketball or football. Check out this Sunday's free play right now with analysis. Check out those special offers and get on board, and let's start winning together. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Hey, follow me on social media as well, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. Let me know your thoughts on this shirt, huh? My friend Candace gave me this shirt. This is a fantastic shirt. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Festivus to the rest of us. Airing your grievances in the comments below. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV. There are more great free play videos coming up next.